Hey guys, welcome to the ninth house astrology video part 2. And for those of you who have been regularly following me, they must be aware of the fact that in the previous episode we had covered in the 2 points with regards to the ninth house in astrology. That is, ninth house is not equal to the 10th house, and the second point that we covered up was every planet here to teach us something. So in this very episode, in this the ninth house astrology episode part 2, we would be covering up the rest of the 2 points. So the third point with regards to the ninth house, astrology says quality of education and subjects learned. Yes guys, it is the dignity of the ninth house that actually tells us that whether we are destined to go to any kind of the university to seek the high, some kind of a higher learning, some kind of a higher education or not. So if the ninth house is well placed in a horoscope, then definitely we would go to we would go to the university of our choice and get some kind of a higher education, and we gonna enroll ourselves for the post graduation or the master's program. But if the ninth house is not well placed in a horoscope, then there would be hindrances or obstacles, some kind of hindrances and obstacles in our pursuit to go to the university. Either we ourselves won't be inclined to go to the university and take up that post graduation or the master's degree, or it could be the fact that we would be forced into some kind of circumstances which would deter us from enrolling ourselves for the master's program at those higher universities. So what if the planet Saturn owns the lordship of the ninth house or is placed in the ninth house? So in case Saturn owns the lordship of the ninth house or is placed in the ninth house, then it is an indicative of the fact that if at all we would be going for the higher education at the university level, then we would be enrolling ourselves for the subjects related to Saturn. For example, political science, sociology, human behavior, management, as Saturn is a planet of structure, organization, planning. So we can enroll ourselves for a management program. And what else is related to Saturn? Saturn here as since Saturn is a planet that is all about following the law, that is all about adhering to the righteousness and the principles that are laid down by Jupiter. So a Saturnian ninth house person could even enroll for the degree in the law field. And what if the planet like Mars is present in the ninth house or owns the lordship of the ninth house? Then it could be the fact that we could study the medicine, we could study the chemical engineering, we could study the knowledge of the explosives or any of the explosive products, or we could learn the warfare or the manufacturing of the warfare. We could also study the electrical, not the electronics and communication, but the electrical degree at the post graduation level. We can, if the Mars is placed in the ninth house, then we can go for the subjects like biotechnology, bioinformatics, something that has to do with medicine and chemicals. And what if the planet like Mercury or Rahu is present in the ninth house or is ruling the ninth house? Then what can we make of it? Well, in that case, we can enroll ourselves for the mass communication, we can enroll ourselves for the marketing program, for the integrated marketing communications, for the advertising programs. We could enroll ourselves for studying any kind of a foreign languages, as Mercury and Rahu placed in the ninth house of long distance journey can make us study any of the foreign languages of any foreign nation, or we could enroll ourselves in the electronics and communication engineering, in the field of computers. It could be the computer engineering or anything that has to do with learning of the programming and the languages. It could have to do with the core programming and the things like that. And what if the planet like Jupiter is present in the ninth house or is controlling the ninth house? Then we can actually study anything that has to relate, that's got to do with numbers and the financial domain. we could study priesthood at a temple or a university, or we could study any kind of a philosophical subject. So guys, this was it in this episode. And yes, one more point before we finally wrap up. In ninth house is also the house of the long distance travels. It indicates that you're gonna go for 4 or 5 years to a foreign land, and then you are coming back. In the previous years, when those Vedic in the previous era, when those Vedic texts were written some 1,000 years back, then at that time the ninth house was called the house of pilgrimages. That is, you were going out on a pilgrimage and coming after a month or 2 months. That was the since the transportation system was not developed in those ancient times, so people used to go on a pilgrimage and return after a month or 2 months or maybe more. So in today's modern context, it could represent the travel related to anything, not only related to religion. It could be the travel related to the business purposes, travel related to you going on the exotic vacations, travel related to any kind of leisure activities, or it could be the travel related to that you are going to some kind of a religious place and then coming back. So if moon is placed in the ninth house of the horoscope, since moon is our is where we live, it is an indicative of the physical structure of a house, and it being placed into the ninth house of the long distance travels. So moon in the ninth house indicates that we're gonna spend a considerable part of our life in some kind of a foreign country, but ultimately we'll come back to our own country. But yes, a considerable part of our life in a foreign country. We would be living at least 4 or 5 years in the foreign country before we actually come back. So guys, this was it from your host Trishu Garg. So I am signing off on that note. We have finally done with the ninth house astrology. So if you want to see me over again, or if you want to get the regular feedback as to what all videos I'll be uploading next, then please do subscribe to my channel. So till then, stay healthy, stay wealthy. Try to find out the purpose of your life through astrology. Stay tuned to my channel. Goodbye guys, love you.